it up. It's The Record Machine with your host, Jimmy Hall.
Sloppiest one yet, but
Heaven will have to wait.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from the band Once Great Estate singer-songwriter Tracy Horenbein to the program. How you doing, Tracy?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Where are you calling from?
Tallahassee, Florida.
Oh, nice. How's the weather there today?
Good. It is beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous out. It's like 70 degrees and sunny.
Oh, wow. So it's about the same. I'm in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, it was raining this morning, but it's sun's starting to come out now. But it's about the same temp. It's about 73 degrees here. I've been here about 3 years. How long have you been in Florida?
I'm a lifelong Floridian.
Cool. How's the music scene there?
It's slowly coming back.
Got a lot of gigs lined up?
Just a few. They're, starting to happen a little more regularly now that, things are opening back up. Yeah. I hear there's a really cool scene in your area.
What was that?
I hear there's a really cool scene in your area.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of good places to play here. You got the Carolina Opry, the Alabama Theater is a good place. We got a House of Blues here. They're always busy. So, yeah, I mean, if you guys ever came down here, you'd probably do real well.
Oh, okay. Well, that's definitely something to keep in mind.
Absolutely. Can you describe your music?
Well, I call it Southern Americana.
Mm-hmm. So it's like a combination of like Southern rock and Americana music?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, depending on whether we're doing electric or acoustic, when we play acoustically, it's usually a little more, folk root sounding. But when we are playing electric, it definitely sounds more Southern rock.
How did you guys come up with the name Once Great Estate?
Actually, I came up with that name one day when I was out taking a little nature walk around my property.
Mm-hmm.
I live on family land that, has been in the family for a while, and just sort of out walking around and kind of observing how the land had changed over time, and how it's sort of like in a state of it's not as great as it once was. Mm-hmm. And but there's still beauty in the the decay and the change, the natural change of things.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell me about the band, who the players are?
Well, in addition to myself, who plays guitar and does most of the singing, we have a fiddle player named Chris Ash, who's from West Virginia. Mm-hmm. A bass player, Jeff Chagnon, who's from New York. A mandolin and guitarist, F. Matthew Burns, who's also a Tallahassee native, mm-hmm. Tallahassee, Florida, and drummer Steve Burke, who's from Wyoming.
Everybody's from all different areas, right?
Yeah, it started out with just three of us, and then kind of grew into what you hear now.
Awesome. I believe every band or artist is influenced by someone. Who are some of yours?
Well, early on, my first memories as just a small child are music that my parents played in the house. So it was a lot of Motown and jazz. And then I just fell in love with Willie Nelson. There was a lot of Willie Nelson played in the house. And that was probably my introduction to just good songwriting.
That's pretty cool. How do you approach songwriting? What is your creative process like?
Basically, I get ideas kind of like little movies in my head, miniature movies in my head, and I just try and create like a soundtrack to what I'm seeing, whether it be like a story or something from my actual, life experience, or just something that I'm totally making up.
That's pretty cool.
But I just kind of try and create like a soundtrack to go with it.
Very cool. Do you write the lyrics first and then do the music, or it depends on each scenario?
It depends on, what the mood is.
This podcast is going to feature two of your songs, Even the Undertaker and Battles. What are the story behind the songs? That's
an interesting pick. I think Battles has been ignored a little bit on this album for some reason. I don't know why people have focused on some of the other songs. Mm-hmm. But, Even the Undertaker was a song that we wanted to just go full-on traditional old-timey sounding with. Mm-hmm. And hopefully we achieved that. We just tried to come up with something that would sort of summarize the whole vibe of the album. Mm-hmm. Which is, there's a quote from Mark Twain that, and I'm paraphrasing, but it's, something to the extent of, if you live, an exemplary life, where you've kind of given it all you've got, then even the Undertaker will be sorry to see you go. Mm-hmm. And kind of like the starting point of the various stories on the album. Mm-hmm. And Battles is just more of like kind of a dark Americana sort of life on the frontier kind of a story.
I understand when you're not performing with Once Great Estate, you compose some ambient music. Can you talk about that a little bit?
I do. I was actually in the studio last night trying to kind of get back into that, so it's interesting you would mention it.
Oh, cool.
But that's something that I do when I'm not working with the guys in Once Great Estate. Mm-hmm. I just like to kind of decompress and just do really relaxing, more ambient and instrumental type of music. And it's challenging to kind of feel that soundscape just by yourself without having other people to rely on to add to the sound, but it's something that I really enjoy doing. I'm a guitar pedal nerd, so I love being able to use my pedals and different. I go out in the the field and, record different sounds in various environments and just try and make interesting soundscapes.
Do you plan on releasing any of those songs?
Yeah, you can find all of them right now if you go on Spotify or Bandcamp and just look up Tracy Chow. That's the...
So you use a different name when you...
Yeah, Tracy Chow is what I release that music as.
Oh, pretty cool. Any reason why?
It's just a really dumb story. I don't know if you're a fan of post-rock at all, but I was in this post-rock band, which is basically kind of this really strong emotional instrumental form of rock.
Mm-hmm.
And it was called Book of the Chow Chow. And we all just for fun kind of, how like the Ramones were all like, Joey, Marky Ramone, like they all had, the Ramones were like the last name.
Mm-hmm.
And we had like Chow was our last name when we were in this post-rock band, and I was Tracy Chow. And when we were on hiatus, I just started doing this solo music and started releasing it just for fun as Tracy Chow. And that's kind of, I never thought anything would happen with it, but it, much to my surprise, people really responded to it. So I just stuck with the silly name.
Pretty cool. Good story, though, right?
I guess a lesson to all band people: don't let the drummer in the band pick the name of the band, because I think Book of the Chow Chow was like really one of the worst names ever.
That's pretty funny. If you could do a collaboration with anyone, who would it be and why?
Oh wow, I would love to work with Brandy Carlisle or Jason Isbell.
Mm-hmm.
Some songwriters that I really admire and look up to.
That's pretty cool. When you're not recording music, what do you like to do for fun outside of music? What are your hobbies?
I love to help animals. I'm big into like rescuing animals.
Very cool.
I have a house full of rescued animals.
Cool.
Cats and dogs.
Nice.
And when I'm not doing that, I just really enjoy getting out in nature. I do a little fishing, but mainly just walking around and just, hiking and being outdoors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also a fantasy football enthusiast.
Oh, yeah? What's the name of your team?
I'm in 2 leagues this year, but it's the same name in both leagues. It's the Ozark Dirty Birds.
Oh, nice. I have 2 fantasy teams, too, and
yeah.
They both have the same name as well. I just use my radio show name, The Record Machine.
Oh, okay.
But
so you have like a Yahoo and an ESPN, I guess?
I have 2 on ESPN.
Okay.
I do it on. I have the app on my phone, and
yeah.
I have Tom Brady, the quarterback, in one league, and then I have Josh Allen from the Bills in the other one, because the Bills is my favorite team.
Okay. Well, I'm a big Seahawks fan, so I totally screwed the pooch this season, because I went ahead and instead of using my head, I used my heart and picked Russell Wilson as my fantasy QB in both of my leagues. So, so my season is shot.
Now, are you a Seahawks fan or are you a Russell Wilson fan? Because I read in your bio that you said if he ever plays for someone else, you're going to root for them. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct. I'm a Russell Wilson fan.
That's pretty cool. I'm surprised that you live in Florida. You weren't like a Dolphins fan or a Buccaneers fan.
Oh, my husband is a big Bucs fan, so.
Oh, so he must be happy. Tom Brady threw that 600th touchdown the other night, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or was it yesterday afternoon it was?
Yeah.
And then Mike Evans handed it to somebody in the crowd, not knowing that it was a milestone ball, and they had to bribe the guy who got the ball to give it back to them with some other stuff.
I didn't see all that.
Yeah, he handed the ball to somebody in the crowd once he crossed the end zone, not realizing it was the 600th touchdown pass. And Tom wanted that ball back, so the guy from the Buccaneers had to negotiate a deal with the fan to get it back.
Oh, he should have let the person keep it.
I think he gave him another football and a bunch of other stuff.
Okay, well that's good. That makes me feel better.
Maybe I think they said they gave him a jersey, a ball, and a pair of tickets. I think.
Okay, well maybe that made up for it. Last year I won the Super Bowl in both of my fantasy leagues, so I've gone really downhill this year.
Yeah, I guess you're in rebuild mode, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I had Kyler Murray as my QB last year, so I did really well.
And he's doing good this year, right? Aren't they undefeated?
I don't. Are they?
Yeah, I think they are. I think they're undefeated.
Oh, okay.
I think they're like 6-0 or something like that. You're talking about the guy from the Cardinals, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I think they're 6-0.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'll have to check on that later on, but yeah, I think that's true. So yeah, that's pretty cool that you like fantasy football too. I mean, you got to have something other than like work and stuff, right?
Yeah. I fell in love with football as a child. It was I learned early on that if I wanted to be able to communicate with my father, I needed to follow football because he was really into football. He loved to bet on the games. He was a football gambler. So
cool. Do you have a website you'd like to promote?
oncegreatestate.com.
Mm-hmm. Everything's up there?
Everything's up there. And then, we're on all of the other social media platforms too. But that's our main website is oncegreatestate.com.
Is there anything you'd like to mention that we didn't talk about today?
Just look forward to more new music coming out later this year. We're going to try and record some new stuff. If you haven't heard the new album, please check it out.
I love it. I think it's great. I'm looking forward to hearing the new stuff when it comes out.
Well, thank you so much for having me on your show.
Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on, and anytime you guys want to come back on, just reach out, and we'll love to have you back. All right?
Definitely. I'll definitely look into some of those venues you mentioned as well.
All right. All right. Let's keep in touch. All right.
All right. Have a good rest of your day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.